Welcome, and today we're in Edinburgh. We're at the Mansfield Traquair Centre. This is a fascinating church with a lot of fascinating stories, from the church itself to the artists we will see shortly. The church was originally an Apolistic Church, with the 12 leaders of this church supposedly being the renewal of the apostles, waiting for God coming back, or Jesus. And they built this church in 1873. Well, the foundation stone was laid in November 1873, and the architect chosen was Robert Rowan Atkinson, who 1834 and 1921, who designed a number of small churches in an early new style. And the church continued with its congregation until the apostles ended up finally dying, and then the congregation decided, with the dwindling of it, to close the church. The church then became the Bellevue Baptist Church in 1974, and then it ended up going into a property company and to an entertainment venue called Cafe Graffiti. But then again, it closed because it couldn't continue to uphold the upkeep of the building, and it was taken over by a group of friends who called themselves a charitable organisation called the Mansfield Traquair Trust, and from them decided to save the church and what was in it, as we can now see. The Apolistic Church in 1882 decided to appoint an artist to paint some religious aspects on the interior of the building, and they picked Phoebe Anna Traquair, who was a Dublin born but lived in Edinburgh, married to a Scottish paleontologist, and she painted most of what you see here. On one side you have the Old Testament, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and many stories from the Old Testament, and on the other side you have the New Testament. It's very much similar to what Lady Waterford did at Ford in her schoolhouse, and I'm curious to think, because it wasn't that far, maybe they did meet up at one time, because they lived at pretty much the same time and had pretty much the same connections. So who's to say this wasn't a possibility? It could be an interesting thing for research. But as we see, there, not only have you got the beautiful murals, but you also got stained glass, some of it designed by G.W. Pugin, and that depicts yet more stories from the Bible. It's actually difficult to put in the film what it's like until you actually get there and appreciate the detail of the artwork close up and of the size of it, because it's really huge. Them arches are absolutely massive, and it's hard to get perspective unless you actually visit the place. It's well worth checking on the website, and when it's open, hopefully get a visit in on the weekend when it usually is open. We can see it here, the baldacchino, and this is quite impressive too, and it's some size. And even looking down the nave, which is quite busy, as I say, it's open here, and see the intricacy of the floor design. Everywhere you look, some beautiful artwork. I say, well, worth looking on the website and finding out when it's open next. And here we are in the National Galleries of Scotland. Just thought I'd put this in to show you Phoebe Anna Traquair's other art. There were some manuscripts, some jewellery and ornate artwork, piano, even tapestry. She had an affinity for trying out different forms, different materials to use as artwork, and most of it was really, really successful. As you can see by the church itself, absolutely stunning. You can see within the murals the examples of stories from the Bible, and that being the Old Testament. And looking around the other wall, the New Testament. Anyway, if you ever have a trip to Edinburgh, you must visit this and the National Galleries of Scotland to see our artwork and to see the church. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully you've got some exciting stuff in the future.